What's up, guys? We're back with Week 4 Power Rankings.
Wiggle, wiggle.
Like.
First up, we have the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings' record may not show it, but mark my words, this season is different for Minnesota. Kirk Cousins is playing so well. He literally has not thrown an interception in such a long time. And just this offensive stigma is just different. Danielle Hunter is also playing up to the mark to where they signed him, with 4 sacks so far. And of course, Jack Conklin doing great as always. And Dalvin Cook was out for 1 game, but they did manage to beat the Seahawks in the bank. Next up, we have the Cincinnati Bengals, who are coming off a fresh win against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Joe Burrow is the real deal. I had my doubts with him at first, but after seeing his performance this season 100% healthy, they are scary. It's been a long time since this Bengals team has been good, and boy are they out for revenge. That defense is absolutely monstrous, with players such as S.E. Bates and Trey Hendrickson making big impact throughout the field. And also, their defensive forefront is just crazy good, and they have lots of young talent. Now we have the New Orleans Saints and Jameis Winston. So the Saints are a pretty complicated team. They did great one week, they did meh the other week. They lost to the Panthers, but they absolutely blew out the Packers. And then this week, they beat the Patriots. I don't really know how to feel. I don't think Jameis Winston is the greatest QB, but he'll fill in the spot for a good amount of time. Alvin Kamara is still great, and the defense is as good as always. In the past years, the defense has carried them, and it still is, but not as much. Jameis is going to have fun eating up all those wins though. Next up, we have the Tennessee Titans and Ryan Tannehill. Week 1 wasn't the greatest as they didn't do so well, but Week 2, King Henry showed up, absolutely demolishing the Seahawks. And this week, they did the same to the Colts. But hopefully, Julio Jones can do better, because as of now, that trade hasn't exactly worked out for them. He had one pretty decent game, but the touchdown didn't get called on his side. But hopefully, he will continue to do pretty good as he did in the past. That defense is a big liability though, and that is the main reason why they lost the Week 1 game against the Arizona Cardinals. Now we have the Denver Broncos. This team is pretty good, but they've only beat teams with 0-3 records, which is pretty funny. But still, I think they're going to be pretty decent, and they're definitely a playoff team. But their division isn't exactly the strongest, as, well, all the teams, in my opinion, are pretty fraudulent. But they should be doing pretty well. Next up, we have the Carolina Panthers without Christian McCaffrey. The Panthers just need to learn to win without Christian McCaffrey at this point, because he's really injury prone due to his high usage rate. And they definitely proved that, beating the Texans without Christian McCaffrey. This week's going to be different though, because they're playing a stronger Dallas team, which will make it harder for them to win. In my opinion, McCaffrey limits them, as Darnold feels obligated to throw to McCaffrey or run with McCaffrey. But this year is different for them, and they're definitely going places. Darnold is the answer. Now we have the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. This team is 1-2. That is crazy for me to think of. This is a 2-time Super Bowl going team with one of the best wide receiving cores in the league, one of the best tight ends in the league. I don't know what to say. Like, where should I even start? But the defense is the main problem. Tyrann Mathieu did come back playing strong, but they're not playing well down the stretch, especially in the fourth quarter. Hopefully this team can start doing well. Not much to say though for the Chiefs. Now we have the Los Angeles Chargers. I was really questioning Justin Herbert after like the first 2 weeks of the season, but he is the real deal. He lit up the Chiefs defense. He's great from the ground. He's great in the air. I don't know how he does it at like 6'6". The Chargers defense is the real primetime star though, as Joey Bosa, Derwin James, everyone is just popping off. In my opinion, Joey Bosa should be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, but I don't think it's going to happen this year. If Derwin James can stay healthy and the defense continues to perform at a high level, they are Super Bowl contenders. Oh boy, the Raiders are one of the best teams in the league this year, and it's a long time coming. In my opinion, Derek Carr just learned his lesson. He doesn't throw to Darren Waller all the time. He's utilizing other guys such as Henry Ruggs, Zay Jones, and even his running backs. They're winning without their star players such as Josh Jacobs, and in some games, Darren Waller hasn't even made that great of an impact. Their special teams is also a great factor, and they just have so many young stars. Zay Jones and Carl Nassib and more, they're just making huge impacts, but they've been quieter in the last previous years. People were calling the Alex Leatherwood pick a big, dumb idea, but I think it was a pretty good idea because so far he's done really well. At number 7, we have the Cleveland Browns with their electric defense. Myles Garrett is the best edge rusher in the league, and mark my words, he will prove that. He had 4.5 sacks last week against the Bears. I know it's a bad offensive line, but I saw a clip of him moving so fast, it looked like he glitched. Baker Mayfield is getting better every single week. He doesn't throw to Odell every single play. And Odell, coming back after a year, is doing really well. He had like an 18-yard catch or something on his first play back. And yeah, I feel really good about the Browns. Oh, Lamar Jackson can't throw the ball. He's not a good QB. Yes, he can. Shut up. Lamar Jackson is a great QB. He can throw the ball very well. And I just want to point out that Justin Tucker is the greatest kicker in the history of the NFL. He just made a 66-yard field goal, and he's a 99 in Madden. He's so good, man. And the defense is even better. Even though they don't have certain players like Marcus Peters, they're still doing great. And people are saying that their running game is bad. I don't care, man. Lamar Jackson is carrying them all the way through. And yeah, the Ravens should do great this year. They've played in some tough games, but it's okay. And now we have the Arizona Cardinals. This team has turned a lot of heads around this season. They have been popping off. I mean, in my opinion, it's relatively the same roster from last year with few upgrades on the offensive sides. But still, Kyler Murray is performing way better this year. And I mean, I'm all in for it. I mean, this team, it's long-awaited greatness, and they're definitely getting it. And they really deserve it. The team itself is really well-rounded, and they can do everything. They're good on offense, defense, special teams, everything. But now, let's go on to the Buffalo Bills. They were upset in week 1 by the Pittsburgh Steelers, but after that, this team has been full steam ahead. In my opinion, they are probably the best team in the AFC, because, I mean, the Chiefs, they're out of the running, and who else is there? It's like the Bengals and like the Ravens. No one's beating the Bills. The Bills are the top dogs. Now, defensively, this team can do a lot more to improve itself, but I mean, we can't really change that. The safeties are really good, but I feel like the D-line and especially the linebackers, they can get a lot better in that area. At number 3, we have the Green Bay Packers. After week 1, lots of people were saying, oh, they're really bad, this, that. But after last week, everyone shut their mouths. The Packers and Davante Adams are turning heads as well. Davante Adams did not go anywhere. He is the best receiver in football. Aaron Rodgers is still in the MVP conversation. The defense can definitely do a lot better, but I mean, it is what it is. Right now, the Packers are winning lots and lots of games. I think that they're going to go deep in the playoffs. It's not the last dance for them. The only team that might give them troubles is the next team, which is number 2, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady is almost 50 years old, and he's playing better than his 2007 MVP year. I don't know how you can be that good at that of an age. The offense is still really high-powered. AB did not play 2 weeks, and the running game is still as weak as always, but they're getting through it. Gronk is also a top 3 tight end now, but he did get hurt, so I don't know how that's going to work out. The defense is still pretty good, but they struggle in some areas. I think it's like some parts of the secondary where they've had some injuries, but other than that, this team is flawless like last year. At number 1, we have the Los Angeles Rams with Matthew Stafford. He's playing at an MVP caliber level and is a top 5 quarterback for sure. Cooper Kupp is a great receiver and leads the league in receiving yards. And this team just looks rejuvenated with a new QB. I'm not going to say it was Jared Goff's fault, though. I think the offense just wasn't well built, because Jared Goff is doing just fine in Detroit, but he literally has like a nobody as his number 1 receiver. Hopefully he can get his things back together and this Rams defense and offense continue playing at a high level. And guys, that's pretty much it for this week's video. I'm going to try to make an NBA video coming up. I did get some new footage, especially the slow-mo phantom cam footage that you can see right now. And next week, be sure to look out with a collab video with That Random Gamer. And check the links below for the best content from my friends. Let's try to get to 600 subscribers by the end of this year. That is my goal for this year. If we can get that, it'd make my year, make my Christmas. But yeah, we're nearing the 1 year anniversary. Thank y'all. Peace out.